Welcome back to another episode of Mason Munchies. I'm your host, Reagan, and today I'm bringing to you a very interesting recipe I found on Pinterest. It's gonna be cinnamon roll pancakes. I'm not normally a breakfast type person, but I do have a sweet tooth at the end of the night, and so that's usually when I eat breakfast food. Fun fact, French toast is my favorite breakfast food, but I also really like cinnamon rolls. So it's gonna be 3 different batters or 3 different things going on here. First, we're gonna have our biscuit pancake batter, which is like basically our base of the whole thing. And interesting fact, didn't know that they had these little shake and pours, so we just saved ourselves a lot of energy by buying that from Giant. And then I also had some brown sugar, some butter that I've already melted, some pure vanilla extract, just a fun fact. It's really expensive, so if you can borrow this from someone, definitely do that because it's super expensive. Cream cheese, which you want to have softened. So yeah, cream cheese. I always buy Philadelphia just because that's one thing I have to have a brand of. Confection sugar, cinnamon, and then a stove. So first we're gonna start off with our cinnamon filling, which starts off with 1/2 cup of melted butter. Another fun fact, melted butter. If you don't know how much they are, it says it right here, and a whole stick is 1/2 cup. So first we already have our melted butter, and we're gonna pour that into this bigger bowl here that we have. Then we also need 3/4 cup of brown sugar. Usually people use dark brown sugar when making cinnamon rolls so that you can distinguish the difference. And then if you have like a pound cake or a lemon cake, you'll use a light brown sugar because you don't want the color to be as strong. So if you didn't know that, that's what the difference between the two are. But you want to make sure that it's compact inside of the measuring cup so that way you're getting the full amount. So you're going to do that and you're going to dump it on in there. And then we also need 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. And 1. Okay, so that is all the ingredients that are going into our cinnamon glaze. So we're just gonna stir that up. I'm gonna use a fork just because it's a little bit easier to get everything mixed around in here. After we mix it all in, make sure that everything's evenly distributed. We're gonna put that into this plastic baggie that we have here. It's a little ghetto way of having a piping bag, which a lot of like culinary people use. I don't have one because I cannot afford that. But we're gonna put it in here, snip it at the bottom a little bit, and then squeeze this on top when we get to the pancakes in the pan part. Next part we're gonna do is we're gonna create the pancake batter. So it only calls for 1.5 cups of cool water. So this is only 1/2 cup, so we're gonna put 3 of these. Put the lid back on top and make sure it's super tight so that when we're shaking it, we're not getting it all over the place. So now for our last part of the trio right here is we're gonna make our cream cheese glaze that you would have on top of your cinnamon buns normally. So first it calls for 4 tablespoons of butter. So we're gonna have to cut this in half. And like before, we're just gonna warm this up as well. So we're gonna put that in that bowl. Then we're also gonna have 2 ounces of cream cheese. We're gonna soften that up a little bit just so that when we're mixing everything all together, it's not gonna be as hard to do so. So then after that comes out of the microwave, we're gonna put the 1/4 cup of powdered sugar and the 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then now we're gonna put in the confection sugar. So our last missing piece of the puzzle. We're gonna put 1 teaspoon of this into our mixture. And so this one you're just gonna mix up for right now, and it's not as important as you like heating it up or putting anything with it right now until after we make the pancakes. So we're just gonna stir it all up. So after you stir it up a lot, this is how it should look. And then once we put the pancakes into the pan and cook them, we're gonna heat this up so it's a little bit more like drizzle effect than what we have now. But yeah, at first when you start mixing it, it may look like you did something wrong. It's not like liquidy enough, but it is a cream cheese like batter. So if you see, it's like all creamy. And then as you keep stirring, it's gonna get better. So now that we have all 3 components done, I'm just gonna reshake this again. We're gonna heat up our pan over here on the stove. Make sure we put some nonstick spray onto our pan. We're gonna let that heat up. While that's heating up, like I said earlier, we're gonna put the cinnamon filling into this bowl right here. So now that the pan is heated up and we have our pancake batter, what we're gonna do is pour some into the plate. However big or however small you want to do it is up to you. Just know that the bigger you do it and the more batter you use, the longer it's going to take to cook it. And then I'm going to squeeze some out and drizzle as if I would on a cinnamon roll. So we're going to let this cook, and you want to let one side cook a little bit longer and then flip it. So it's going to take you a couple seconds. The way to tell if you're cooking a pancake correctly is if on the outside you see bubbles, and that's about the time you should start to flip the pancake in the pan. So it's gonna take it a little bit second to get a little bit brown and crispy on the bottom. So while we're finishing up the last pancake, we just heated up our icing. And this is what we're talking about for the consistency that you wanna go for by the end of the whole process. Alrighty, so now that our pancakes are done and we've warmed up our cream cheese icing, now we're just gonna take it and dress the pancakes so they can look delicious. That's it. That's all I have for you all today. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you all try it out as much and enjoy it as much as I did. You can find out more information about this recipe on our Instagram and on our Twitter. And if you follow us on any of those social media platforms, you'll see the more delicious things that we're making. And make sure to subscribe to our channel and come back again for another episode of Mason Munchies.